Hello and welcome to this funk lesson on composing a song. All right, this lesson is going to be very exciting, and it's going to be very different than the lessons that I've done in the past for this site. So as you know, many of the lessons for the site are working on grooves, working on different techniques and whatnot. What I'm going to do in this lesson is I'm going to create a song, and I'm going to actually then bring it to the group, and we're going to take the cameras into the studio and we're going to record it live, and you're going to see the interaction between me and the group, and then also see the finished product. This first DVD lesson is going to be on creating the song itself, right? And the second DVD is going to be on the actual process in the studio. They're all going to be put together as one DVD pack when it's done. If you're watching this as a member, just be aware that the studio time is October 1st, so it will be after the first of the month deadline, but you will at least have this video to work on while it takes me a couple of weeks to edit the other video and get it online for you, okay? This will not be the next month, the studio version will not be the next month's video, okay? So this isn't like going to be a 2-month thing. This whole thing will be all released for the October lessons, and in November will be another brand new lesson at funkpianolessons.com. Anyway, let me tell you how I'm going to structure this lesson. It's going to be much more free form, so I'm going to be, just kind of trying out ideas. I have my staff paper here, my sheet music paper, okay? You definitely, when you're writing music, have this handy, and then also a pencil. I'll have a link where you can actually just download some of this staff paper, all right? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, like I said, just try out different ideas. You're going to kind of see my process. It's not going to move as fast as some of the other ones that are on grooves, because it's like, okay, here's groove 1, groove 2. No, it's going to be more free form, right? And I'm probably going to stop along the way. I'll pause the video, write some notes for myself for the song. But what we're going to try and do in this video is get the whole song together. All right, so I've talked long enough on this. So let's move on and let's get started creating this piece of music. Now, there's many different ways of creating a song. One way is you could start with the melody, you could start with a set of chords, you could start with a drum beat or a bass line. What I often do is I like just sitting down with maybe a drum beat. For a funk tune like this, I would rather sit down with a drum beat, just kind of try out some different ideas. I might also start without the drum beat and try out some different ideas. I usually like to start with harmony first, so that's chords, and then apply a melody to that harmony afterwards. That's more because probably my ears gravitate more toward harmony than they do towards the melody. But maybe you might want to start with a melody, especially if you're going to be doing lyrics. You would definitely probably want to start with a melody. But there's many different ways of doing it, and whichever way works for you is fine. The other thing is there's many different interpretations of what is funk. There's jazzy funk, there's bluesy funk, there's funky funk, So you may like this funk song that I'm doing, you may not like it. Don't worry about if you like it or not, just look at it for the concepts, okay? So let's get started here. I'm going to put the drums on here, and I just have, what I'm playing here is I just have a drum beat right out of GarageBand. It's just going to loop over and over. It's at 82 beats per minute. It's 4/4 time. And I'm just going to mess around. Now, I was starting to kind of mess around with a minor sound, this D minor sound. Now, I will tell you, I was going to do something like more of like a jazzy kind of funk, like a... So I was kind of messing around with that kind of an idea, that progression. But I thought, let's keep this more funk, more traditional kind of funk. Well, I don't even know if we could even say it's traditional, but kind of around that minor kind of sound funk, a little bit slower, not so active in the piano part. That way we can get the drums and bass involved more. If you like that sound, just post in the forum, and then I will do a lesson on that if people are interested. All right, anyway, so let me put this drum beat on. So I was starting with this D minor groove. And what I oftentimes like to do is I usually have to play like some kind of bass line in the left hand. I've talked about how to create some bass lines. You could just do something simple for right now, because until we have something together and we can put a bass line in the sequencer and then play along with it, I need to kind of come up with a bass line. So I'm just going to play something like this. So now I was thinking that I was going to just stay with that D minor for a while, but then I thought, well, let's get a little bit of motion between the chords. And I was thinking, well, where could I go? I could do something along the lines like go down to C7 or go down to C minor 7. That's another common thing. Go down to the flatted 7th and make a minor chord there. I could also go up a half step. So up to E flat minor. But I was thinking about going down to B flat 7. I kind of like this sound. It gives it more of a bluesy feel, and I was going to make it instead a sus sound. Right? The sus sound, the reason I would do sus, and once again, sus is instead of playing the natural third, I'm playing the sus 4 here, which is the 4, suspension, okay? The sus sound gives it more of a floaty kind of feel, right? And it doesn't really lock it into a certain harmony, okay? You don't really have it as major, you don't really have it as minor, you know? So it kind of gives it a more ambiguous sound, right? And that's nice because it doesn't lock it in, like I said. So anyway.